Oh,
It's like we
here
never
we
left.
are again.
We're back.
We're here once again. It's been less than 12 hours.
7 hours. It's
It's
been like 12 hours. 11. It's been like 11 hours. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. We're back. Welcome back to FakeCast. I'm the real life fake wizard. This is the Wizard Man, and we're going to do some fake casting today. We have some stories we'd like to go through. And then we're going to get to some reviews. We got a lot of reviews to do. A lot of people are, well, hopefully happy with the reviews we're going to do. But based on the comments, every time we talk about some of these properties, it seems to be a little sticky. Like the floor is sticky. Like you're walking out of a movie theater and you're like, ah, man, I got to wash my shoes again. Sticky.
Oh, man, my entire shoe just came off.
My shoe stuck to the floor. This is why I should have got Crocs. Anyway, Tom, as we get into this, you had an excursion this morning. You had an experience.
Yes, I did.
I slept right through it, so I have no idea. And you're also holding the details. You didn't give me everything. You didn't tell me. You didn't give me all the data. So tell us what's going on and what your story was.
So let me set the stage here. Let me pull up the website we looked through when we first went over this. Just to truly paint the picture here that I want to have. So let's just do.
Do you want me to do it?
No, I got it. All right. So first, let's do a quick transition. Thank you everybody for coming out this early. You know, it's 9 a.m. I hope you have a good morning as you spend it with us as we talk shop. But let's get into some things. So today was the Pokemon X Target Drop 2. So if you've been following along with us, we've been covering the Pokemon X Target drop that happened a couple of weeks ago. I guess maybe like a month or two now, and it was this big. It was about a month, I think. It was this event where you had a bunch of special Pokemon branded items that were at Target. You had different clothing items, you had toys, you had cups and Pop-Tarts and all of these things. And we went there the day that it happened. We went a little bit after it opened, maybe like 10 o'clock. And the store was ransacked. The store was ransacked when we were there. So they announced, hey, they're doing another Pokemon Target drop. They're doing another drop. They're going to do some more stuff. And then, I was curious. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go during the opening to see what's going on, to see what's the dealio. Unfortunately, like the wizard, I rolled over and I saw that the alarm did not go off at the right time. And where I was hoping to be up for 7:30 to get over there, it was 7:58. So I quickly just threw on my clothes, brushed my teeth, and shot over there. And I waited a little bit because I was like, you know what? All right, I can't be there during rope drop. So you know what? I'm going to wait 15 minutes. And I'm going to see how does the store look after 15 minutes. And pulling up for you guys, I'm going to show you guys the battleground that was left.
It was full and fairly fully stocked, right? It was fully fair and stocked for people to come in and be able to experience the Pokemon Target collab, right?
Today is when everything was supposed to drop. I will give them some... I'll give them a little bit of grace in saying that, hey, there wasn't as many items this drop. And the Target, like the big jacket that everyone was looking for the first drop, they didn't have at all. They specifically said, hey, we're not selling them in stores. They're going to be online exclusive. What we're going to do is we have a Johto and a Hoenn one we're releasing, as well as we're going to do a restock of the first one. Those aren't even going to be in stores. Those are just going to be online. So presented to you, the people, is my pictures from this morning. So these are giant puzzles. These you are able to
zoom in a little further.
All right, it's going to be a little blurry because we were taking on my phone.
That's
that's
fine. We just got to be able to see it.
So these are supposed to be puzzles of the Pokemon that are the size of them. So this is like a little 2-foot one. This Gengar one's supposed to be like 4 foot. Also, this cutout here, people were stealing and selling for $100+. But let's just let's look at these. You got empty. This was leftovers from the first drop. These were all of the women's products that people did not buy. These were new.
Wow.
There was clothes. There was clothes left over. And granted, I do think the reason why there was some left is if you look here, it says, due to higher demand, we will be limiting the purchasing quantity to 1 unit per item per guest. So that means if you were going in to try and scalp everything, you couldn't get 4 of the sweatshirts. You couldn't get 5 of the sweatshirts. You couldn't get 2 of the sweatshirts. You could only get 1. And realistically, you're only getting 1 your size. However, out of the sizes here, 2XL, gone. XL, gone. 1 large left. 1 medium left. All of these are small, extra smalls. So already off the bat, 15 minutes, most of the sizes are gone for the things. The shirts, I didn't like the shirts. The shirts aren't looking that great, I'm going to be honest.
No, the shirts are ugly. The shirts are bad. These are bad shirts.
Yeah, the shirts are not, they're
look at that.
They're going for like that Uniqlo look. It doesn't look great.
It's such a bad look.
But then you got all of this stuff gone. So it looked like they had, there was supposed to be a bunch of kickballs. So if I think I have the picture here, these are kickballs. They're Ultra Ball kickballs. The problem is, though, there was supposed to be like 3 different versions. So there was supposed to be a Pokeball, a Master Ball, and an Ultra Ball. There's only 2 Ultra Balls left. And also this one was kind of deflated. I didn't get a picture of it, but it was like, oh, this may already have like a leak in it.
Oh, that's lame. That's lame.
So all of this stuff here was gone like that. They were supposed to have, I don't know if I took a picture of the QR code. This was supposed to be like a summer drop where they had a bunch of like outdoor activity things. So these are supposed to be like the little plush balls that you use when you're in the like the pool that you throw around with. You have kickballs. This was like a toss and catch game here, where like a frisbee game. But they were supposed to have beach blankets that were giant Pokeballs. Those were gone. They were supposed to have tote bags for like $25. Those were gone. The backpack, gone. Everything basically was either already gone or sold out. Now, I took a picture of this because this was very interesting. These were with the puzzles. This $70 price tag here was for the Charizard one. So basically, 15 minutes go in, anything Charizard sold out. And this was $70. This was $70. It was like a 5-foot puzzle. I don't know anyone who's got the space to build that, honestly. That's huge. And $70, that's a lot for a puzzle.
It's a lot of floor space.
It's a lot of money for a puzzle. But because it was Charizard, well, we got to buy it right now. Everyone's got to buy it right now. They still had Gengars. They still had, Gengar, there was like 3 left. I thought Gengar would have been the one to be gone too. I don't know. Maybe they limited that you could only get 1 puzzle per person. But it was, I will say, it was not as desolate as the first time we went, but also they did have newer policies in place. And I don't think there was that big of a rush to get there because they didn't have the jackets. So I have a suspicion the jackets are going to be like that because they're going to be scalped by bots, because I don't think that Target is going to have anything in place to try and circumvent that. But I come to you today, champion.
What did you get?
I got the Mew sweater.
No, you did?
I got the Mew, and my green screen's gonna screw it up, but I got the Mew
the
sweater.
One for the girls? You got the Mew sweater for women?
No, it's not for girls.
That's right. It's unisex, right? It's unisex.
It's unisex. It's
It's
got
it's
a
pink.
Mew print on the sleeve, and I was like, you know what? I gotta show that I was here. I gotta show that I did it. I had a little bit of FOMO running through my head. It was like, well, if I don't pick it up now, I'll never be able to get it again.
If I don't get it now, I never can.
I got the last medium of the Mew adult sweatshirt, relaxed fit. I did it.
Poop Cookie says it's not pink, it's red. Beardo 2025.
It's not pink.
So
Yes,
it's red.
We did it. I will say, you know, I had jested about being like, oh, like I'd love to go and like interview these people. As I pulled into the parking lot was when people were coming out, and already off the bat, these are people that like if you tried to talk to them, they would threaten to fight you. Like that was the demeanor. And that's what's like unfortunate about all of this, because there's no fun about this. We had a segment where we talked about this last week, going over because the Pokemon dropped again. Where I was like, you know, we covered it as a news topic, and you know, Isaac of Industry Indigo talked about how it's like, oh, you know, there was like the midnight releases and how there was that sense of community and like there was like that hype behind things. That doesn't exist here. These people aren't in it for the fun of collecting. They aren't in it for the fun of being a Pokemon fan. This is, how do I get in, turn a profit, and screw somebody over? You know, and maybe they don't have it in the mindset of like, I'm screwing people over. I'm going to say majority of people do. Majority of people do. But there is that sensation of, how do I get in, flip it, rip it, and get out?
You know, there's something to be said about that though, because the scalper people, right? They are a very unique part of like the nerd society. Like they're definitely part of it, whether they like it or not, and they don't like it. But they have no respect for the actual like source material or the thing. They're not fans. They're not fans at all. They are just interested in making a profit on stupid nerds, right? And if you like seriously, if you try to have a conversation with these people, they will respond aggressively. It's actually like they are not nice people. They are aware of what they're doing. They're competent of what they're doing. They're fully on board with the fact of, I'm going to buy this and then charge a fortune to you to get it, even though I know you wanted it. And I'll make money as the middleman. Like they're fully on board with that. They have bought into the idea of being a scalper. They don't care with what you think about them or how you feel about them. They are. If you really like, because you see them at comic conventions as well. You see them at Comic Cons. You see them at events. And I've been in the Comic Con space for a long time, like working marketing or even just going. Like we've gone to lots of conventions. The only time I've ever had a real problem with anybody ever was a scalper threatening to fight me in front of police. Like that is in front of police and the administration of that convention, who are right behind them. And they didn't know. I'm like, okay, so if you throw down with me now, also I'm 6'4", so this is not going to be good for either of us. But you know, you looking up to me as we go toe to toe is not going to be good. I'll kick your carriage over. You know, all your goods will hit the dust. I don't care. Here's the thing with conventions, and then we'll get back to the Pokemon thing. Here, just for those of you out there that do not know, if you get into a fight at a Comic Con, whether it's Galaxy Con or it doesn't matter, like New York Comic Con, San Diego, if you get into a fight with somebody at Comic Con, usually they ban both of you, even if you're not the aggressor. And then that notice of being banned is posted for all of that circuit. So if it's the Galaxy Con, it's all of the Galaxy Cons. And then they send that information to all the other convention friends, because all their other convention friends, because usually convention owners are buddies with other convention owners. They know each other, they know of each other. They try to synergize, work together, even if they don't like each other, because there is competition. But they do send that around, and you will likely be banned from all conventions. So that's a heads up. Don't fight at a Comic-Con. You will regret it. It's not good. You'll be banned for life, which is not fun. And what I would like to see is Target ban these people for life for ruining Pokemon for people. Tom, what are we doing? The only thing that's left is the cheese doodles.
I look in this and I see, you know what? I should have gotten the Psyduck pendant. I really should have picked up the Psyduck pendant.
Oh, well, guess what, Tom? I just ordered it. I just got it. So
no, you didn't.
I did.
Are
no,
you
no, I'm very
serious?
serious. I logged in on here while you were talking, and I scrolled through to see what was on sale because I wanted the Ditto hat, which is gone, and I saw the Psyduck pendant, and I did get it. Yeah, I didn't get the hats though. The hats were gone. But yeah, while in real time, while we're live, I did get the Psyduck pendant.
I will say this. While I was there was like a dad with his kid. There was, a couple that was there. I would like to imagine that this wasn't as bad of a scalping event as maybe the first one was, with the purchase limits in place. Because realistically, if you're going in, I want to hold out a little bit of hope that maybe this was a situation where more fans got things more than scalpers did, because it would have been hard for them to really scalp a lot of the clothes, a lot of the specific items. So maybe it'd be, look, I was able to get the Mew sweater, and that was about 15 minutes after the store opened. So I like to hope and imagine that people across the country are going to be able to still maybe pick up some of the items that they were looking for. Would be cool to see. However, after the first time we went where we were there and a guy was bragging about how he was there that morning at Rope Drop.
Yeah.
I have to believe that, and like, if you are going to this at the break of dawn, you're not actually in it to keep. You're in it to try and make a profit. So like,
or you're
posters.
a super fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's how much are those? Because those are posters.
10.
And what are those? They look like the size of a record album.
They are about at the size of a record album. They're like $10. Those were still there, whereas like the part of the first drop had a bunch of like Trapper Keepers and rule books and all of these things. All of this stuff was still sitting here. So I think it's going to be interesting. The Snorlax blanket, there was two of. There's still two Snorlax picnic blankets.
Oh, and you didn't get it? Oh, wait, you mean the beach towel?
The beach towel, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's why you didn't get it, because it's
a beach towel.
It looks like crap.
Yeah, it was not.
It looks like crap. I mean, that's neat. If you go out on the beach, you got the big Snorlax is what you're sitting on. That's cool. But you didn't want to get the dive ball Pokemon speaker? It's only $25. You know that sounds terrible. That was my thought process. They had 3 of them, so that was that's this up here was that they still have the headphones from the first one. Those headphones are garbage headphones.
Doesn't I don't know, but I come, I came, I saw, I conquered, I got the pink Mew sweatshirt. I'd have it on now, but it is it's a little warm, so didn't want to be sweating on stream. But that is the Pokemon Wave Drop 2. I'm gonna be honest. I believe the jackets drop tomorrow. I may try to go after the Johto jacket. I'm still debating it.
The jackets are tomorrow?
I think the jackets made them, unless they were today and it was supposed to be a like, hey, you have 2 battles you have to fight. You either either you're doing it where you're going to the store or you're trying online. But I could have sworn that the jackets were a different day. Maybe I'm wrong though.
I do want to say in resolution, and then we'll move along. I do think this is what they've done here is terrible. I think Target should be held accountable. We should kind of be calling them out. This is Pokemon. It's the biggest franchise on the planet right now. Why is this like? I understand you want to do a special collab for the 30th year, right? That's fine. But why not have more stock? Why not have a lot more stock? You're doing this exclusivity thing with Target. This isn't the brand to do that with. You'll make more money if you make more stock. Yes. People would buy this stuff. It's not going to sit on shelves. Look, you know what stuff is sitting on shelves? The women's care stuff. The nail polish, the jewelry box. The stuff for guys is flying off the shelves. It's gone instantly. So, you want to do your jewelry box. This is somebody in marketing not giving the proper information about what needs to be produced more. Okay? And I think that's a little ridiculous. The hats, you didn't think the hats were going to sell out instantaneously? You didn't think the jackets were going to sell out instantaneously? Hey, look, Target. If you made more, they would have been less per unit. Is that a fair thing to say? It's probably true. It's usually true. When you produce by volume with these mega companies, and you produce a little bit more, you save more on each one. So I don't feel bad. I think Target sucks for this. I'm not happy with how this went down. The fact that there was 2 drops, both of which got rated instantly. And it's like, oh, well, it's only one item, except, the people are going to their cars and then coming back inside and to buy again. And they're just going to go through a different line to check out next time. So you're not actually slowing anyone.
So I quickly looked. So the jackets, so the Johto and the Hoenn jacket did drop today. Those are already gone. They all have 1.5 star reviews. I was trying to see
people are review bombing it.
I was trying to see if I could pull up what people were saying because I have to imagine they are some fun reviews. But the big thing, so they had a limited number today, and then tomorrow they're doing a pre-order for all 3 jackets that's going to ship out during winter. So it's like, hey, we had here's a little sampler, and now you put in your order, and then how many we get, then we'll put our order in, and it's not going to come in until winter.
Yeah, because they have to produce them, right? They got to produce more of them.
Yeah.
Which, okay, but they should leave that wide open. It shouldn't be like, hey, we're doing one more run. Like, look, that's fine with me. If it's a thing you could basically pre-order, they produce it and then ship it to you when it gets here from China, then that's fine. Or Taiwan, that's fine. But leave the window wide open. And they're not going to do that. It is still going to be limited tomorrow. Yikes. Anyway, Tom, final thoughts on Pokemon?
It's a very, very weird thing to see, especially with... It's so weird to see how all of this has played out and evolved over time. And I'm curious to see how things play out. I'm curious to see when those jackets do come in for people. I have a strong feeling if you do go to any card convention, people are, the people who are wearing the Pokemon X Target drop are the people that are probably not even fans.
Right. All right. Very good. Let's get back to the people. Back to the people.
We got Deceptive John for a 5. Pokemon scalpers are insane. They're literally out here scalping those cans of Campbell's soup too. Freaking soup. I'm surprised to see that they had Pop-Tarts when I went. They still had Pop-Tarts.
Yeah. Somebody should have picked them up for for Krista, since she likely ate the original Pop-Tarts that she got. Now she needs more Pop-Tarts.
We didn't eat ours because it sounds like a gross flavor.
No, we didn't. No, it's not the flavor. It's like the entire like CVS receipt of ingredients on the back that I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I care for that. Thank you for that. Tom over here said, it sucks. I give it a 7. Fake Wizard. Okay, yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Master of the Universe. I've been on 2 streams so far talking about it, and I've given it a 7, while also pointing out that there are things that I really love about the movie, and there's things that I really hate about the movie, mostly focusing on the things that I don't like. Well, we're going to discuss it further, but last night I did and filmed like the Masters of the Universe review that like for the official review, and I did lower it down to a 6. So we're just,
you lowered it. You did.
I did, because after going through and writing the script, and then I fully believe everything I'm saying in the script. I'm like, there is no way I could stay at a 7 and then still see all of the when you recognize the pattern of the movie of good thing happens, we must interrupt that with some kind of shock whiplash value to the audience. You can't give it a 7. It is every single moment of the movie that is good, followed by something stupid to whiplash the audience. I can't give it a 7 after that. After that, going again. So, yeah, we'll talk about that. But I also didn't say it sucks, so that's not my quote. Hypnotic is out here this morning. Good morning. Good morning, little lad.
Good morning, little buddy.
Why?
You ready for school?
Why the F are you so early? Go to bed, bro. Yeah, well, you're right. Yeah, you're right, man. I want to go to bed right now.
I want to go back to bed.
When that like I heard Tom like getting ready, and I was like, oh God, I'm going to be late. And I look over. Oh, we got to go. Go. So it's a fake. We're here.
It's always great when you're like, oh, I'm up super late editing, and I have to only sleep 5 hours because I have to get up and go to Target to see the Pokemon drop. I was like, oh, this is going to be a day. Oh, boy.
I gotta get up to go a fight with scalpers over Pokemon.
Hey, but I won.
Yeah, he won. He got his gender-neutral Mew sweatshirt.
Hey, I'm gonna look. Pink,
the non-binary sweatshirt.
Guys can look good in pink, all right? I'm gonna look great in it.
Yeah, like He-Man.
Yeah.
Raingaffer5 says, thoughts on Target fighting scalpers by cutting plastic on card packs? Also, they won't make extra stock if they can make more money off the scarcity. Well, that's just okay. So that's just not true in this case. That's just not. They would make more money if they had more stock because people would buy more stock, and the stock would cost less to produce. So playing into the scarcity thing to like clean shelves out didn't work this time. No. That's not going to work on this Pokemon thing. People like Pokemon. They're going to spend top dollar on Pokemon.
But it is cool for them. It's cool to see that more places are doing where they're cutting the packaging on like the ETBs or any of the boxes. That way it's harder to resell because no one's going to buy a seal. Like if the seal's cut, it's like, well, you could have opened this and resold, like sealed the packs. I'm not going to buy it from you now. It is nice to see that. It's even funnier to see the people in the Targets flipping out because of them doing it. Like, what are you doing? I need that sealed. It's like, oh, good job, buddy.
Yo, Hypno says, I'm just kidding. I'm awake at this time all the time. LOL. Dude, I know, and we know, I don't know how you do it because Hypno is up all night long, either streaming or doing games and then shooting videos, cutting videos through this is Hypnotic is the hardest worker YouTuber on YouTube. See, I had a dyslexia there. I don't know how you do it, brother.
He's built different.
He's built different. Legitimately built different. All right. Let's get into Tom. You ready to start doing some reviews?
Oh, let us get into the reviews.
Wait, where'd you get that piano?
Okay. Welcome to Scary Movie 2026. Tom and I both saw it. We went with Kada and co.
Mm-hmm.
This is the movie. The Wayans are back in business. They're back at it, and I really love the first two movies, as many people do. Many people love Scary Movie 1 and 2 because they're ridiculous. They're funny. They still hold up to today. The jokes still land today. This Scary Movie was promised that it was going to cancel culture. I found myself laughing the entire time, but once you walk away and you kind of sleep on it a little bit, you're going to realize that the reason you're laughing is because this is the equivalent of getting back to, like, going to a barbecue with old friends you haven't seen in a long time. Not necessarily because of the context of the film itself. Like I just said, I'm a big fan of this cast, the original cast. I love seeing them back on screen together. That is fun in and of itself for me. And I like, that they're making some gags here and there, calling back to the old movies. And, Marlon Wayans is still playing Shorty, and he's still being, ridiculous. But, like, after a while, how many weed jokes can you do? It's 2026.
Yeah.
Weed is legal almost everywhere. How many weed jokes can you get away with? And it's and also most of these are not even jokes. So Scary Movie suffers from a problem where there's setups and then there's no punchlines. Like this right here, for instance. This is in the trailer. They've got Megan here. This is clearly a reference to the Megan movies, which I enjoyed the first one. I think the first one was a very good movie. But you look at, this is Megan. Okay, she's doing the dance from the movie. And then we're going to get reveal. Oh, underneath is Ghostface. The joke. This is actually a perfect example of like constantly. The joke is that you recognized Megan. But there's no joke with Megan. There's like, that's it. That's it. But like the whole time. Wait, did Tom just realize that?
No, I knew that, but it's the contextualization of this is a Space Jam 2.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is a Space
This
Jam
is Space Jam 2.
This is
a Space Jam 2.
It's more
Yes.
relying on you going.
I recognize that reference. References. I like references. No, seriously, this is Member Berries the movie. This is and I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I don't love it, and I can't recommend people go see it. But like, look, I had a wonderful time, but that doesn't mean it's a good film. So I have to be able to take my experience and put it aside, just like I was trying to do with Master of the Universe. It's like, hey, I there were things that I really loved about that movie, and I have to sidestep that for the reality of what the context is. Well, it's the same thing here. This movie, oh, here you go. Wednesday Addams is in it. No, it's not Wednesday. It's Tuesday.
They do nothing.
That's the joke. That's the joke. That's the beginning and the end of the joke, is that you recognize Wednesday Addams, but it's Tuesday Addams, and they change the name for legal reasons. And they like literally say that. They say like, hey, it's Wednesday Addams, but no, it's Tuesday. So, that's the problem with Scary Movie. So it's like, yeah, I like seeing these people back together, but there's not nearly enough punchlines. There are not enough punchlines. Tom, what are your thoughts?
I think there's stuff that'll make you laugh. We were laughing, we were yucking. It was a theater experience, I will say. That we saw it in theater, and the location that we did see it in. It's fine for like the It is a bowl of Fruit Loops. It is a bowl of Fruit Loops. It's sugary sweet cereal that like you enjoy in the moment, and then shortly after you're like, yeah, that wasn't that great. I don't really feel that best after it. Like, you know, you get that like shot back to your childhood. You get that like neuron activation of like, I remember when I was younger and I used to have Fruit Loops. I love Fruit Loops. Oh, you know, back when these movies were coming out, you know, I do have fond memories of those. But as it sits in your stomach, you're like, it's not really that great. I thought it was fun. It's hard to call this a movie. It really is hard to call this like a movie. And,
well,
you know, same with the
in a world where Mandalorian and Grogu exist, this is a movie. It's
a movie, but it is a parody to the full degree, and that is what scary movies are supposed to be. That is what they are. So, you know, it's just I don't know. There were a lot of jokes that I think either just didn't land. There were sequences that could have been cut and tied. There is the sequence that they like redo like the K-pop Demon Hunter song, and I feel like collectively everyone groaned at it. The entire theater was just like, ugh.
Yes.
And there was a lot of moments like that in this film where it wasn't, it was like it was very funny. There was a I don't remember the context of it, but like one of the characters said Bomboclat, and there was a theater-wide sigh. It wasn't laughter.
Yeah.
It was
yeah. Well, so we should cue that up, Tom. Who are the other ticket holders that we were sitting with? Like, I mean, through the whole theater, because of the.
They were our brothers and sisters in Christ. I don't know what you're saying. They were regular everyday patrons. You know.
Yeah, I know. We were in a theater with we were with other Black people. So throughout the theater, like that was that, because that's the town that we were in is predominantly an African American town. It's a Black town. I love seeing movies with Black people. I love it when they're talking at the. People hate it. I love it. I love it, dude, because that is like adds to the level of immersion for me. And I cause problems, so I like will incentivize the mob mentality. So if people start doing things in theaters, like I'll call something out too. I'm like that. I'm a bad influence. I'm a fake wizard. So no, I loved it. I love, you know, going to see movies with people that are going to be engaged with the film instead of like stuffy white people that are just like when we saw Endgame, right? Like we saw Infinity War. We were in a Black movie theater, and we had a great time. It was great. Awesome. And then we did Endgame, and we were in the stuffiest, whitest neighborhood for it, with all like, but it's all the kids that were like, you know, they're all there with mommy's credit card, paid for them to go, then mommy and daddy's credit card, and they were so stuffy, they had zero fun. It wasn't as good of an experience. I'm so serious.
I'm going to be so for real. I really do think our enjoyment for a more engaged theater experience comes from that the theater that we always used to go to was the rundown $5 ticket theater, where because it was the cheaper option, that it's wired into our brain that a theater experience involves people ending up talking. You know, we kind of had that at Mortal Kombat, where like 15 minutes into the movie, the people that were in our section come in and they have their like phone flashes on and they point it down the barrel of like the lane. So we just get flashbanged by like a phone thing trying to watch Mortal Kombat. And it's like, oh, well, that's what a movie experience. That is our reference for going to the movies, was the trashy rundown, you know, experience. And it was great. It was great because it was cheap. You know, we have fond memories of it. I
like going to theaters with real people. I don't like the Alamo. Okay, I don't like the Alamo. They got the stuffiest people. They're full of themselves. They got their egos jammed so far up their own asses. I can't stand it. You give me a $5 movie theater that normal folks can go to, that just, you know, hey, sometimes Sometimes you got those calls coming in you got to take. And I love it because sometimes the phone call at the back of the theater is more exciting than the movie you paid to see. So at least you're getting some kind of entertainment.
Wasn't that your experience for Sinners?
That was my experience for Sinners, but I really liked Sinners. I enjoyed Sinners quite a bit.
No, but
it's the
someone picked up the phone and was just like, "Yeah, I'm at the movies."
Yes, yeah, and he was having problems with his baby mama. Yes, absolutely. It's my favorite experience. I love it. But anyway, scary movie. As you were saying, there's a lot of. I mean, this movie is loaded in politically charged, racially charged jokes. Not a lot of them land. Like for instance, towards I'd say towards Act 3, they do a Epstein joke, but it's not a joke. It's a reference. They make a reference to the Epstein files. One of the characters takes the substance from the substance, and the split down the back. It's gross, and then a hand pops out holding, and then hits the floor. The Epstein files, unredacted or unedited or something. And then it cuts. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. That even for me, I was like, huh? But because they cut so quickly, they're like, you made reference to the Epstein files. That's all. That's all you got. Oh, okay, that's all you got.
It
Yikes.
goes. It's like we said. It's the Space Jam 2 where they're thinking, well, you saw things that you like, therefore it's good movie. You were able to point at the screen and go, I understood that, right? Yes, there's the Terrifier scene. It's just Terrifier.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Terrifier?
Hey, Terrifier? Remember Terrifier? But it's not even, that's the problem. It's not even member berries, because usually member berries are predicated on nostalgia. This is stuff that came out like a couple of years ago. It's not nostalgic. Like, it's just like, do you understand these references? You do? Cool. Do you now like the movie? It relies on you just going, I understand that.
The joke here is that Art the Clown is in the movie.
That's not a
That's
joke.
It. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that guy who plays Terrifier is Art the Clown in this.
I believe it.
I think he came back to play Art the Clown here.
He was going around Universal as Art the Clown for Horror Nights in, I think, California. He does it.
Yeah. Now I want to look it up just to be clear. Screamboat. No. It's not him. No, it's not him. He's not. He doesn't have the credit on. He doesn't have the credit on IMDb. Okay, well now we know. But yeah, so that's the scary movie. They just make the hey, that's Art the Clown. That's the joke, huh?
You get it? Do you understand the joke? It's not a joke. It's this is references.
Yeah, every line will be crossed. The problem is you can say that. Okay, let's be clear here. If you're going to try to cancel culture, meaning that you're going to draw attention to things that are perhaps taboo in the culture, the critics are they're going to hate you because you're not going along with what the critics want. The critics don't want you to challenge the status quo. So you're already going to get bad reviews. You might as well swing for the right hooks. You might as well go for the kill shot. You might as well not miss if you're going to say that this is the movie that every line will be crossed. This is the movie that's going to save comedy because comedy's too afraid to punch across the aisle, right? Or punch up, punch down. It's too afraid to do that. This movie doesn't do it. This movie pulls its punches. Very much so. There are major instances where they queue up the opportunity for amazing dunk jokes and then they don't say them. They say something else instead, or they cut to something else instead. I want to say again, I liked it. I liked the movie because you got to hang out with this cast again, and they're making member berry references to Scary Movie. That guy, like that's where we're at as a society. We are now member berries with Scary Movie 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's where we're at as a cinema society. Scary Movie, which is a parody of other movies, is now a member berries movie.
That's gonna. This is good.
Tom, final thoughts on Scary Movie.
This is the start of Cinema Joker. As a society, we're parodying the parodies. Yeah. Do you? This movie kind of had a little like. I'm gonna ask. With some of the jokes, it had almost that like Reddit turn to the camera. We said that. Like it had some of that. And that's where it's even, I would say it's even more disingenuous with some of the like harsher jokes they're trying to make. Not even like harsher, but like the more obscene jokes, I'll say. Like it's a thing of, it's like, you're not, every line will be crossed, but you're not actually crossing that line because you're still trying to play in the like, we're in on the joke with you guys. We know we're not supposed to say these things without actually just being like, here's the joke. It's a little faux. It's a little like, not even fake. It's a little fake. And I think it's fun if you have a certain love for these, but it's trying to capture something that they don't have the chops to really pull off. The first two were kind of like lightning in a bottle.
I would challenge that. I think the Wayans are very talented. And I think they've got good comedy. Yeah. They just, for some reason, didn't go all the way here when they could have. They very clearly pull their punches. It's more like they say wacky and ridiculous things to get laughs from the audience, but there's no punchlines to jokes.
No.
So, but again, those are references. Well, the crazy things they're saying are references to things. So look, here, I'll put it this way. If you're an adult, don't take kids to see this. This is not a movie for kids at all.
Not a kids movie.
But also, like, way worse than the original Scary Movie. Like, this one really cranks up the crudeness. It cranks up the this is for adults. I mean, I guess that's the best way to describe it. This is an adults film.
Very adults.
A film for adults. Very, very adults. But if you're looking for something to do on the weekend or next weekend or whatever, it's harmless. It's harmless. It's not great, but I also think there have been people all over the internet that have said this thing is a blast. They had a great time with it, and I wouldn't want to take that away from them. I was laughing the whole time, but I also understand why, and it's because we get to see everybody back together again. Not necessarily because it's earned. Like the example I made in the review that we're working on is if you were to take the legacy cast away and give this script to different people, would this work? The answer is no.
No.
The answer is absolutely not. So I'm like, oh, well, if that's the case, then I can't be as forgiving on this. And I think this is a 5. I think it's a 5 out of 10, which for our grading system means it's, I think, banished to the backlog.
Made
for the system
backlog.
That it's made for the backlog. Yeah. So that's where we're at on Scary Movie. Tom, what would your grade be for this?
I'd agree with the 5. I would agree with the 5.
Yeah. So we're giving it a FakeCast 5. With that, let's get back to the people. Rengap for 5 says, one of the downsides to making a parody movie today is waiting months for a joke the internet will give you in 48 hours or less. And that's evident in this movie. And that's the problem with relying on references to be funny. If you're making like Scary Movie 1, is there timely jokes in there? 100%. But you could watch Scary Movie 1 and 2 right now and still have a great time. They'll still hold up today because a lot of the jokes are timeless. You know, a lot of the jokes still land because it is just funny. It's just a funny haha. Like it's okay, and it's authentic. And that's not to say that this movie is inauthentic. This movie is made through the lens of, yeah, we're gonna save comedy, but we're a little too scared to go all the way. That's the problem with this film. Over on YouTube, we have Death Star sent a gold coin for 10 jewels, and Soul of Grim sent a gold coin for 10 jewels. Thank you both. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Tom, what do you want to talk about next? We have 2 video games we have to talk about. One of them is predominantly for you. One of them is predominantly for me. And then we have Masters of the Universe. Do you want to get the He-Man out of the way, or you want to start talking to the games where we might actually have something nice to say?
You know what? I think we gotta spread in, because people think we're just negative all the time. They think we are just miserable, negative people all the time. Maybe
I was told.
I
I was told by a friend that I am so black-pilled, my heart is a shriveled raisin.
Wow, they said that to you, and they're your friend? That's a
yes.
That's a garbage friend. Hey, did you know, man? You're so miserable. Thanks, buddy. Like, what are you supposed to? Thanks, buddy. Screw you.
I think that's pretty much what
I
did. I was like,
I'm sorry,
wow.
my standards are higher than you. Well, you know, that's actually very funny. You know, we did the review for Backrooms. I did the review for it because I saw it. Oh, that was.
It was.
It was Lauren.
It was Lauren. And we were doing the Jack Daniels tour in Tennessee. And he's like, you know, you're so black-pilled. Your heart is a shriveled raisin.
I thought he said, when it came up, it was Lauren. I thought it was going to be that it happened on stream. The fact that it happened on the freaking tour, that's funny.
No, it happened in person. We were together.
That's awesome. Oh, all right, I changed my mind. That's great. That's great. No, it's funny. When the Backrooms came out, you know, I hopped in one of the servers with my buddies, and I was like, "Oh, you guys saw it?" And he's like, "Yeah, I really liked it." Let me guess, you hated it. You had some problem with it. And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I have standards." You know.
Yeah.
But we do have the perception that we do not like. We're negative all the time, but I figure let's spread in some positive things to say. So I'm pulling up right now.
Which one are we doing?
I was gonna do mine. I was gonna do Mina.
Okay. I'll pull up the trailer then.
Well, I thought it's gonna be mean, and it's not gonna let me just show because I have the first.
I've got it. Here, let's go ahead and transition over to the.
I had 2 bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddles and a hash brown, and now my tummy hurts. Find out more tonight at 11.
That was Wizard News. Where is it? All right. So, Mina the Hollower. Mina the Hollower is the new game from Yacht Club Games that everyone has been waiting for. It has been several years since they've released anything, since the Shovel Knight series had concluded and finished, even though I think they are still doing... they are making a new Shovel Knight. They're supposed to be doing a 3D one. Apparently, that's I don't know that for sure. But this Mina the Hollower is its own experience and game. It is based off of the Legend of Zelda Game Boy and retro style 3D map. And this game is awesome. I love this game. This game is great. I highly recommend it. It is one of those games that is so big and expansive, where you're traveling around this entire area, but it's that like special size where everything is interwoven together. Everything is connected. You're able to get places between each other. There's little keys that you pick up and you're able to unlock paths to everything. The aesthetic is this Castlevania, Bloodborne, kind of like horror-ish style, but it's not really like it's horror in the way that it's like kind of like cryptids. It's like folklore. It's like mythology. It's this really awesome aesthetic. Wizard, you talk about how like one of your favorite zones or like aesthetics was in World of Warcraft, the undead area, the undead starting zone.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh.
Where it's like it feels kind of like Halloween, where it's got like that blue like hue to it, where it's not like it's creepy. It's that like specific vibe to it.
Yeah, it's perpetually Halloween town there. It's great. You can just boom. You want to feel like you're in Halloween. You go to the Tearsful Glades, and you will feel like Halloween.
This game has a sensation like that, where it's like, hey, it's unnerving with some of the things, but it's not outwardly like horrific. It's creepy. It's got this really cool vibe.
Would you say it's a Halloween game?
I would say
in a similar vein, or
this is like a game that would be perfect for like October. Like this is an October game. Like this, I'm gonna see there's like one of the bosses where he literally, you fight a giant house. You fight a giant house. There's one of the like after this zone there is where you're going through like it's called Septemberg is the town. And you're going through like cornfields and stuff, and following you is like it's called like the carved man, and it's supposed to be like something that lives in the fields that goes after people. It has this really cool aesthetic and vibe. The soundtrack slaps. The gameplay is a little bit of a learning curve in the way that this game is hard. Whereas in like the old Zelda games, you had like a shield and the sword, and usually if you hit people, there would be like a little bit of like a stun animation that you could keep on following up. In this, you need to dodge and weave through attacks and then attack during those openings. So kind of in the sense of like those Souls-like, and not the way that like, oh, you're running around and stuff like that. It's specifically waiting for your opportunities to strike is the gameplay setup. Being that you're a little mouse guy that you hollow, you're a hollower. The dodge mechanic in this is that you literally burrow in the ground and move around. So you burrow under to dodge, and then you do a little jumping animation. And that adds into the platforming. It adds into the different mechanics. There's rooms that you can only get under if you burrow under it. Swimming around, you can swim and then you jump out. It's so well-tuned and refined, and I love it. I am excited to fully finish it. I'm working on the review for it. I have only nice things to say about it. There are some things that I think are a little bit annoying. Some of the enemies early on are super punishing. The death system in this is you have little sparks. You have little sparks that if you die, you drop it, and that has all of your currency that you picked up in this run before you, like, in your last save. If you go back to that guy and if you die before you get your spark back, you lose all of your currency that you saved up into that point. And early on, that can really screw you up because there are some bosses and enemies that are hard. There's like one guy in the sewers I spent like over an hour trying to fight, and it was rough. This is a game that early on you will have to sit down and go, I need to take a break because I'm getting into that like controller rage zone. But the more you get into it, the more that you actually like absorb this world, the more you get used to the style of combat. Like the whole jumping into the ground mechanic is something you kind of need to get used to because it's timed. there's a limited amount of time before you pop up again, but you can do it earlier. It's really good. I know I've been playing it just the way that it's been made. There is a bunch of modifiers you can make to this game to make it easier or difficult. I haven't played around with that because I wanted to have the intended experience. I wanted to play it the way that it was made. I didn't want to mess around with it. So I bet you can make it more akin to your sense of play, which I think is a good way to approach stuff like this, where it's like, hey, here's a bunch of sliders to make it a little bit easier, make it a little bit harder to whatever you do. But I really love this game.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here. I haven't played the Shovel Knight because I'm really not a 2D scroller guy. I'm terrible at them. And they are all made to be like really, really difficult now, which I also don't like. But like I really like it's a top-down kind of 3D game. It's like it is, as you said, it's like a Game Boy style Legend of Zelda. And I like that a lot. I think that's pretty neat. I actually didn't I thought this was also a 2D side scroller as well. I did not realize that this was going to be like a top-down 3D like action RPG almost. Like that's pretty neat. Does it have RPG mechanics? Like, are you building and upgrading your character in a way?
So you're picking up stuff. I'm glad you asked that. You have there's 5 different weapons to pick up that you can play around with. So, it showed off like the giant hammer. You have the hammer. There's the whip. There's daggers. You have a shield that your whole thing is that you parry them. And I think there's like a Mega Man blaster too that you pick up along. So there is a bunch of different play style variations depending on the weapons. As you go around, there's little things there's little Castlevania throwable items that you get throughout the different zones that are a lot of fun to mess around with. It is really cool. Something that I need to try because I've seen people complain about it, and I need to see this for myself, is the issue that can happen with this is because of the design. This is graphics made to be like a Game Boy game. It's that 16-bit, smaller
pixel
designs, pixel art, which looks awesome. The issue is how you play on it. This game feels like it was made to be played on the Switch. I've been playing it on my my PC because I got it on Steam. So I've been playing it on a monitor. I've seen people say hey, this game is not good on your TV because of the way that it's when you upscale it. It's imagine playing Pokemon Yellow on a 70-inch TV.
It's I've wanted to do that forever, but they won't release the game. Even in the comments here, we've said looks amazing on OLED displays, which would be the handheld Switch.
Yeah, your handheld, your Steam Decks, your
Switch
your
1
Switches,
OLED,
Switch 1, Switch 2. I gotta see playing it on the big screen if it is an actual issue. I think it probably will be fine, but this. I have nothing but nice things to say about it. I am excited to see what they do, next with this stuff. They've said that they're not doing free DLC like they did with the Shovel Knight campaigns, but there's, stuff to, they're still working on stuff with, everything around it. I think it's $20. If this is your cup of tea, if you like those old Zelda style games, I think this is worth picking up. I really do.
I guess I have some complaints. I'm out of the know, so I would be complaining from a place of ignorance, which I'm aware of. But the fact that this had to go on to Kickstarter makes no sense to me. Okay, why did they need to get funding to make the game? Because this is from the people that made Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight was an overwhelming success. You had toys, you had amiibos, you had merchandise, shirts, apparel, accessories. Shovel Knight was a hit and a half. Why did this need Kickstarter? Did they ever explain, Tom?
So Shovel Knight was kickstarted.
Right. But they made a ton of money.
So they made a ton of money. Their thought, I think, I don't remember the full explanation of it, but I remember them doing, it was something in the semblance of, hey, we wanted to do another Kickstarter to have the community feel like there was some involvement in it, like Shovel Knight. Because Shovel Knight, part of that development thing was if certain tiers, you were able to actually have an input on this game. So they had that with this, where you were
that makes more sense.
A input on this game. Granted, it was a lot of money. Like that was a very expensive tier if you wanted to have like input in this game. But they did have it where it's like there was that sense of like, hey, we wanted to do it like Shovel Knight, where hey, not only are we going to kickstart it to help doing the funds to make this game as big as we can, but then also we wanted to have that sense of community of working with it. I never attended them, but like I put in for the Kickstarter. They had it that like as they were developing it, they had streams like specific to the Kickstarters to show off where they were at in development, how the music was coming along, what specific levels were looking like. They had that level of community attached to it, which I think was really neat and cool. And as we've seen, this game took, I want to say 4 years to make. I don't remember if it was 2022 or 2023 that like Kickstarter went up for this. So this game has been cooking for a long time. Like it has been a couple of years that they have been working on this. And, you feel it in the game. You feel with how long that this is, with how extensive the world is. And I love it. I love it. We're working on the review for it right now. I have positive things to say about it. I don't know where I have it at the grade wise. I don't know if I don't know if this is a 10. I'm sitting at a 9 right now. I'm sitting at a strong 9. Could go to a 10. I don't see it dropping below a 9 though, like as it is right now.
Now you've also said that you think that this game could be a contender for Game of the Year.
I still do. The level
that's pretty big.
The level of interconnectivity in this game, you go off, it has that in old Zelda games, as much as it's like open world, you do have it is linear to an extent because like, sure, you can do these things early, but you will hit a roadblock of like, okay, you need to go do the first dungeon to get this item. And then from that dungeon, you need to go to this dungeon to get this item. Like you got to be able to go get bombs because then you can break this wall. It's that thing of like you pick up things and then go back and go around. This is you go any direction you want. They say, hey, you should probably go south to find this guy to upgrade your base. I went to the right. I did the full thing of the right. I didn't go south to pick up where you're able to upgrade the base until like two dungeons in. You can approach it any way you want. The amount of upgrades and trinkets that change the gameplay is insane. There shows like there's like the water area. You can find boots where you're not impeded by the slowing down of water. There's so many ways to change up the gameplay, and it is, it's wonderful. I think it is possibility for this being a Game of the Year contender. And we had talked about it on Wednesday on Fake Wizard News of how this game getting such good reviews may have robbed it a little bit from people getting it initially, because people saw, oh, this got a 10 out of 10 on IGN. This is probably trash. And
yeah, because IGN sucks now.
With IGN being as not, I don't want to say uncredible, but like people don't trust them. With this, I think more people are going to play it. I think with the trades giving it, I think this may be one of the highest like reviewed games of the year. I think the fact that the trades are even giving it its flowers, it's going to be up there for, I think it may not be winner. I could see it getting nominated. I can see this getting a nomination.
I would say, let's be fair here. Yacht Club Games, the production company here, the studio behind them does play. They do kowtow to what the trades want. They do play the game. They play the AAA game.
Yes.
And I would call that out. So if they're getting like all the positive word of mouth from the trades, it's because the studio played. Even if they make a great game, like that's fine. Awesome. You've made an awesome game. Great. But, you know, let's be fair. When the studio might be doing a little bit of extracurricular. So, all right. That's awesome. That's good to hear. We have a review coming out for Mina the Hollower soon. With that, let's get back to the people. All right. Tom, you want to take over?
You got it. We got Douglas Nutt for a 5. The stretch goal games were offered free for owners of the game, raising the price only to new buyers. Design is their bag, not finances. Yeah, so that was with the old Shovel Knight games. It's basically if you had the copy of it, you got all of the different games for free. So, and they didn't change it where it's like, hey, you need to now pay for this DLC. For reference, I got Shovel Knight as a bundle to get the Switch 1 from GameStop because you couldn't find a Switch 1. The only way I was able to get a Switch 1 was GameStop had a bundle where it was like, hey, here's the Switch with, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Breath of the Wild, Shovel Knight, and like one other game. And it was a higher price, but it was like, hey, here's a shotgun bundle. It's a bunch of digital codes, and you're getting the Switch. That's how I got it. So I got it when they were just releasing Spectre Knight, and I still, because I had it, I got, the King Knight campaign. I got the their little 4v4 like Smash Bros game. They did a really good job, and those games, even though they're like DLCs, they're basically a new campaign of Shovel Knight, completely redone. I've done reviews for the first 3. I still need to do King Knight on Fake Wizards. But yeah, no, they could have charged money for those. They didn't. And they've talked about how it's like, yeah, we overpromised with like Shovel Knight and it kind of screwed us financially, but we're going to deliver on it. Like, we didn't back out, go like, oh, sorry guys, we need to, which, is commendable. But thank you, Douglas, for the 5. We got Icelandic Fart Police for a 2-fer. Can't wait for Fake Wizards retro view of Blazing Blade.
It's coming. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. After we're working through a couple of systems on our side right now that are going to give us the ability to do retro reviews. We want to do a lot more retro reviews. Like Tom has been doing the Shovel Knight ones, like you just talked about, and those have been pretty fun. It's been nice to go back and kind of relive some of those games. I'm not reliving this one, a Blazing Blade. I'll be playing it fully for the first time from start to finish. I'm looking forward when we get that release date, you guys, for the upcoming Fire Emblem game. I am going to cover all of them. I just want that game. I want that game. I want the Fire Emblem 2. I want Fire Emblem, the Fortune's Weave, which is a stupid name. Fortune's Weave. But I love that franchise so much. I'm so looking forward to that. I've tried. It's like almost every day I get this like fleeting thought of I should really play Fire Emblem 3 Houses again. I should play Fire Emblem 3 Hopes again. And I'm like, but I don't have the time. And that hurts. So I am very much looking forward to playing some Fire Emblem again. Thank you for that. Okay.
Well, we just got to see. We got to see for Tuesday because realistically, if they do the direct, that they should be announcing the date on that.
Well, so now's a good time. So we're gonna in a moment we're gonna get into. We're gonna talk about He-Man next. I think we'll do He-Man together.
Yeah, we'll do He-Man.
We haven't done that yet. We'll talk about that in a second. But real quick, we have got tomorrow, which is June the 7th. There's going to be the Xbox showcase. Now, the Xbox showcase is going to be at 2:00. Tom and I are going to be on the road at that time, or we're just going to be like kind of landing with where we're going. But I think there's a very strong possibility that we're going to stream tomorrow evening or tomorrow night and watch the Xbox showcase together. And then on Tuesday, if they do the Nintendo Direct early enough in the day, I think we're going to stream the Nintendo Direct as well. Because right now, like, this is the big week for gaming. So, like, now is the chance to cover, to see, not only cover everything, but to see the trajectory of modern gaming and where it's going. So far, I think I could confidently say we're not impressed. We're not impressed. The PlayStation Showcase was not great. The Summer Game Fest Showcase yesterday was really not great. It was really not great, rough. Guys. It was really rough. Rough. Bark, bark. But we'll see. Yeah, so tomorrow, yes, on 6/7, they're doing the Xbox Showcase, Tom. Yep.
Great.
Yep. That's it.
Well,
all right, let's do...
yes.
Are you ready to do Masters of the Universe?
Yeah, we could do Masters of the Universe. Usually they do the directs at like 5 o'clock, so we will see.
Okay. Well, if you could, give us a transition.
You got it.
Masters of the Universe is now in theaters after 15 years in development hell. We have both seen it. We went and saw it with Kada. He got the last power sword in the theater.
He did.
I'm furious. I'm furious about that. We had a good time with friends. It was nice to get to spend some time together. We don't get to see each other very much, but at least in person, we don't get to see each other very much. But yeah, he got the last power sword, and I'll have everybody know, yes, the sword is almost as big as he is. But as we go through, so Tom, I'd like to get your initial thoughts about this film without me interrupting, because obviously, and everybody knows who's seen me on FNT, or perhaps they saw the Culture Crossfire stream, I have a lot of thoughts about this movie. Not all of them are positive, but I'll let you go first. What do you think about Master of the Universe?
I didn't hate it. I enjoyed it. I think there are glaring issues with it, but I do think that this was a fun time. I enjoyed aspects of it. I didn't enjoy other aspects of it. I think there are problems. There are problems that make it not as solid of a movie as it could have been, as it should have been. And as a result, I think it is, it's a little unfortunate, because you can see the greatness is in there. There are elements to this movie that really rock. And, you've talked about it, and we're gonna talk about it some more. But there are elements of it that I think work in isolation. Because when you remove it from the movie, it's like, oh, this is a really good thing. But then in the movie, they rob it, they undermine it, they do something that ends up kind of spoiling that cool thing. I will say it's very funny, because we saw it in theaters, and we talked about it. I remember in the theaters we were kind of saying to ourselves, what was Tom talking about? What was he talking about?
Yeah.
This was great. We had a great time. Well, it was.
So we should talk about that first.
Yeah.
Though. So we have, friend of the channel over at Midnight's Edge, Tom Connors. There's a clip of him that was posted of him crashing out about this movie. Now, sitting in the movie, we kept saying to ourselves, what the heck was he talking about? What the heck was Tom talking about? This movie, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but like, this movie does a really good job of stealth satisfying you. But then if you think about it, things change. But go ahead, continue.
I'm so glad you said that, because I'm going to say one of the big issues with this movie is it presents itself in the don't ask questions, just go with it. Don't think about it, just go with it. Don't think about this movie. Just have a good time with it. And
have fun. Consume.
Have fun with it. Have fun with it. Don't think about it. And if you don't think about it, it is a lot of fun. If you're just sitting there and enjoying
Yes.
it, you know, we were sitting there, we had grins on our faces. We were enjoying this movie. You know, some of the jokes they do kind of, you know, catch you off guard. We're like, oh, that was actually funny. You know, we were yucking it up in the theater. We were laughing. But
The He-Man humor, you mean? Because there's two. I think there's two types of humor, and it's like when they play to classic He-Man humor, like Skeletor. You buffoon!
Yes.
Like that works.
Yeah, you boo. Yes, that
That absolutely hits.
He said it. You know, it was there is a sensation. There is fun to be had in this movie. You know, we've talked about it. You know, you pulled up that comment in the beginning of stream of it's like, oh, you know, I thought it sucked. I give it a 7. We have issues with it, and having issues with it doesn't mean that you don't like it.
It doesn't mean I hate it. I have.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's from a place of love, I would say.
Yeah.
It's from a place of love for the franchise, for the character, for the actors, for the set, for the design, for the costumes, for the performances that are given. By all rights, this is a great movie. If it got recut.
Yes.
And I think that's it, dude. That's there is going to be a YouTuber when this thing is bombing. It's not going to make money. It's going to be on the internet or Blu-ray and streaming very, very soon. Streaming first because it'll be on the video on demand. And as soon as that happens, as soon as it's out, there is going to be some YouTuber who's like a kid, probably on a laptop, who takes this movie and recuts it and maybe calls it the Eternia edition, the Eternia cut. And then at that point, it will be a fantastic He-Man movie.
Yes.
There is a great movie in here. And that is why I can't say it's bad. Like, there are elements of greatness in this that are undermined by cowardly writing. There are 6 writers who worked on this. And one of the producers, and you can tell. You can tell. Yes. And you could tell that some of those writers were extremely competent. And then you could tell that some of them were cowardly about what He-Man is and was and what the source material represents. And that's a shame. Because, again, like, okay, this shot right here that you're seeing, this sequence is epic. It's so epic. Good. It's so good. And for that, yes, I will. There are things to be trashed about this that absolutely deserve to be trashed about this. But we have to, if we're going to be fair, we have to call the goods and the bads. And in this case, this scene is freaking awesome. This is what you've always wanted. Right here. This is the He-Man you've always wanted to see on the big screen, and it's here. He's there, and it's great.
The visuals, the fight scenes, the choreography that is like, if you want to see a action film, that is what this movie is good for. The action in this, because you know what, something that is nice about the fight scenes, the choreography, they actually last. A lot of movies, like kind of similar to this, what they would do is you see them start to fighting and they cut away. This actually holds on the fight scenes, and there are multiple of them. It's not just one big set piece, you know, the one final big set piece. There are a couple of fight scenes of, you know, He-Man beating the crap out of somebody, you know, and that's cool.
Yes.
I do wish maybe there was like a little bit more. I wish we got maybe just like a little bit more, but like there are parts of this where it's like you are like, oh my gosh, this is eye candy right now. I'm loving this. And if you were, you know, that aspect of it needs to be commended because, yeah, you guys actually did do a good job of this. The issue is just everything around. Like, it is, there are like, this movie is like a brownie that was in the oven that was left in there for a little too long, where there's some burnt edges that you kind of need to try to like avoid, or you just don't want to eat. But there's some really good brownie parts in this. And I think you got to do... I'm waiting for the recut of this.
Tom, you just described the poop cookies.
I know
you just described Beardo's poop cookies. I said it on F&T.
I specifically
Yes!
was like, I don't want to do the stupid Beardo poop cookie reference.
It's the
I don't wanna
poop
do
cookies reference.
I don't want to. No, because the poop cookie reference doesn't work because it's still poop. It's still poop. You can't eat the poop cookies.
But unfortunately, that's the reality, and it is. Who would have thought? Fear the Beardo would be a philosopher. By the way, we are rating his channel when we finish the stream later on today. He'll be live. That is what it is, and he's right. And there is, you could eat around the poop on the cookie, but in the reality, you're still eating around the poop, and you have to call out the poop. You're eating the poop. I'm sorry. That's real. When we talk about Project Hail Mary and we talk about the Sheep Detectives and why did those two movies work and why did audiences love those movies? It's because they had authentic sincerity.
Yeah, that's
and
what
Masters of the Universe does not have sincerity.
No.
Every single moment, and I've seen you guys talk about it in the comments here, every single moment of sincerity is immediately robbed of its authenticity and its sincerity. I've said it before, jump jokes. That is the key phrase here. That is, I'm going to be putting a video out on the main channel discussing this kind of phenomenon with jump jokes. It's the root of the Marvel humor. It's the root of it's the jump scares too. It's the writers, the creators, whether it be the editors or the directors or writers, whatever the case may be, they are not confident in what they've created, in what they've done. They don't think it's scary enough, or maybe they're embarrassed by what they're making, and so they need to use there's actually a philosophical phrase here. It's called bathos. They use bathos as a means to shock the system, to make you not think about what you've just seen, and we keep moving forward. Rich Evans with Red Letter Media described it well with when they did their review on The Rise of Skywalker. Just keep moving. Just keep moving. We're not going to stop. Let's just keep going as fast as we can, because if we stop, then you're going to ask questions. This is another strategy with bathos.
Yes.
Because it interrupts. Now you're not thinking about the very, very real philosophical discussion we had in Masters of the Universe, which they have many. They have there's a handful of these really heartfelt, real discussions about honor, and they don't use the word masculinity, but it is masculine honor. It is masculine leadership. It is masculine values. And then they shock your system. They hit you with the whiplash, so that you don't have the ability to actually process and think about what you just saw, which then, in and of itself, undermines the sincerity and the severity of everything you just were told, of the conversation that just happened. It's cowardly. It's cowardice. It's cowardice for what this is meant to be.
This movie, I feel like, was trying to emulate Phase 3 Marvel. This basically is just Thor Ragnarok. It really is just basically Thor Ragnarok. It is, and I think the main issue that people have, I think the complaint that we have is that instead of being Phase 3 Marvel, we wish this was Phase 1 Marvel. We wish this had the sincerity of Captain America, the First Avenger, or Iron Man 1. If it had that level of sincerity of just this is the character, you can sprinkle in a little bit of humor. That's not to say oh, we don't want it. It needs to be serious. That's not the issue.
That's not it. That's not what we're saying.
Exactly. The original He-Man was, goofy. We one of our traditions during the holidays is to watch the He-Man and She-Ra Christmas special, and that is ridiculous. The whole premise of it is that Skeletor feels the Christmas spirit and becomes nice for a small period of time. It's absurd.
I'm not nice. I'm not wonderful. Yeah.
I'm not kind. I'm not nice, and I'm not wonderful. It's so goofy.
No.
But it's wonderful. It's you love it. It's got that charm to it. It's got that cheesy campiness that you want. The issue with this is that in place of the cheesy campiness, they went for the jump jokes. They went for kind of ironic humor of this is kind of quirky, isn't it? it's maybe not as Reddit coded as the like Irma jokes, but it's still in that like, Marv described it when you guys did Crossfire of like, this feels almost embarrassed by itself.
Oh, it
Where
is.
You have,
Oh, it is.
You like, and that's what the shame.
Well-
and that's where you can see the 6 different writers in the room, because you have the design and the world, like Trapjaw. All of the designs of the characters are like mint. Like they are what you'd want of like the upscaled. The fight scenes are what you'd want from a He-Man thing. Like it feels at odds with itself, because the best example of it. They crash the ship. It's a little, Man-at-Arms and Adam have a little heart-to-heart. And it's a scene where it's like, oh, that was actually a good scene. And it's immediately followed by, Adam going to talk to Tila and immediately getting friend-zoned. And you could those scenes that scene following that scene feels like 2 different movies.
I think you need to elevate how there's a setup there though. Okay. At the beginning of the movie, we find out that Adam is kind of the runt of the litter. He's not the best fighter in Eternia, because the first 30 or so minutes it's a setup of Eternia. Like it's Eternia, and then we get Adam on Earth. Adam is the runt of the litter. He's not a good fighter. He's much more. He's a silly little boy. And then all of the other fighters that are training as kids, mind you, these are kids training to be warriors, and Adam is part of this. He's not good at fighting. His father, the king, comes down and humiliates him in front of everyone. And you're supposed to be like, oh, well, that's in the context of modern deism. This is supposed to represent a toxic masculinity. In the context of the film itself, it's like, oh, okay, this is a cool underdog story. He's going to rise above this. This is a very good setup of him needing to live up to what the world needs him to become, which is awesome. That's good. Fast forward. Then we get to him on Earth. The Earth story begins with him. He's on a date with a girl, with an attractive woman. And it doesn't go right because he's being a little vulnerable and telling his story about growing up in sword and sorcery, which the girl on Earth is like, you're out of your mind. Then it is very heavily suggested that this has been happening a lot to him, which means he's been getting rejected quite a bit, which means he's going out on dates and getting rejected. That's the setup. Fast forward. Now he becomes He-Man. Now we're in the middle of the movie. We're in Act 2 now. Okay, now he's He-Man. He's got the sword. He's learning how to use his powers. He has an extremely important conversation with Man-at-Arms about what honor and leadership looks like and fighting for the ones you love. And then he walks over to Tila, and it's very clear, like, he's got a thing for Tila, and then she dunks on him as being friend zoned. Oh, I see us as like I don't see us like that. I see us as
friends.
Like we're the bestest of friends. Did she say like, oh, I think we're cousins? Like no, I think of us like brother like and sister.
No, you're like my little brother. It's very
you're like my little brother.
The friend zone line. The friend zone line.
It is. Boom! It's like taking a sledgehammer. It's like taking the home run bat from Super Smash Brothers and boom, knocking him off the map.
It's the Left 4 Dead 2 wiffle bat. Just boom. Yeah, it is the.
There is at that point. You did not need that scene. You've already established he's an underdog. He has to overcome that. But the constant, it's like he's gonna grow. He's gonna grow. Drag him back down. He's gonna grow. He's gonna grow. Drag him back down. Grow. Drag back down. Grow. Drag back down. The entire movie is like that. So you can have an excellent philosophical conversation about what it means to be an honorable man fighting for the ones you love, followed immediately by punching him in the face. Metaphorically speaking, I mean, like metaphorically kicking him in the balls.
Yeah, anytime
Why? That is cowardice.
Anytime he has the chance to be cool, he's like humbled. Anytime there's a chance of like, oh wait, now he's the cool guy. We got to yank him back down. He can't be too. He can't be the cool. He can't be too much of the cool guy. There's elements to this movie. There's elements of sincerity. There's part of it is Skeletor still has his parents alive, and he's got to go try to save them. And there's the scene where his where he's with his father, and he's like, I changed for you. I became the man you wanted me to be. And the dad's like, I didn't want you to change. I wanted you to be strong. I wanted you to be strong. I wanted you to be strong. And like, I really liked that scene. And because you know what? That was the one thing that wasn't really undermined. But it was like, oh yeah, no, this was a dad who just wanted to make sure that his son was going to be okay. And there's that sense of like, oh, here's this kid who, escapes this world, doesn't know if his parents are alive, thinking that his dad has always been disappointed in him. And then the revelation of it's like, oh no, I just wanted my son to be okay. And then he doesn't specifically say it, but I'm glad you spoilers. What I'm gonna say. He basically says,
I should have had the spoiler warning up, but sorry.
Well, we were we did do spoilers.
No, we spoiled the crap out of it.
We spoiled a lot of it. He basically gets to say, like, he doesn't say it out loud, but he more or less says, like, I didn't get to say I actually love you to my dad before he died. And that's like, that was a scene where I was like, oh,
profound.
Wow, that was actually really, that's deep. Because you know what? That's actually something that happens. There's people that go like, oh wait, I didn't actually get to say that to my dad before he went. I don't know if my dad knew that. Like there's that sense of, and I was like, oh, there's that level of sincerity. And that's where I think there's a 9 out of 10 cut of this movie. There is a 9 out of 10 cut of this movie.
Yes.
And I am excited for someone to make it. Something that I don't know if you've talked about on any of the streams, but we had mentioned. This movie bombing may end up being the best thing to happen for it. Because if this was to succeed, the only way to go with a sequel for He-Man is down. Because now we just set up that he's the man. The only way that they know how to tell stories is for him to start the next movie off with being a failure. He needs to immediately fail and then come back up to status quo. So it's going to be that it's the next movie is him that he fails. So congratulations. We just saw Adam becoming He-Man. It ends with the high note of he is the man. Sure, they're taking shots at him, but at the end of the day, he's a hero. He's going to save people. The only way for this next movie to work is, well, instead of it being, how does he overcome this new threat? It's, he failed. How does he get back over it?
Yes. The only way forward is to deconstruct him because now he is at the highest high, technically. Yeah. He's the Prince Adam of Eternia. He's He-Man riding off with Battle Cat to save the day. The only place for them to go, you're right, is for them to tear him down, deconstruct him. But also, I as time has passed now, we saw this a few days ago now. But this is our out of theater review for FakeCast. I'm glad we had this experience. I'm glad we got to see it. I love the actors. I want to see the actors in more things. I want to see Nicholas Galitzine here. I want to see everything he's in. I like this guy. He in the press interviews, he's awesome. He's personable. He's a normal guy. He's charismatic, but he's not a Hollywood like he's not putting his nose up at people. Like he's just a normal dude. He's like, yeah, man, I had to like eat so much protein and stuff, and I was pooping all the time. It's like, oh man, you're just a silly guy. Ah, man, you're not like, you don't take yourself too seriously. I love that. But I don't need another Masters of the Universe after this. I'm happy with one. It's good for one. Don't do any more. You're not going to be able to afford to do any more, but sometimes one is enough, and this is okay as a one on its own. Something we got to talk about, Skeletor. We have to talk about Skeletor.
Yes.
Jared Leto plays Skeletor. He has not been seen in any He has not been seen in any of the press touring. He's not been seen in any of the promotion for this. I think they put him in a closet somewhere and said, don't come out until this movie's done, because Jared Leto is a box office curse. He is still a box office curse on this, although I don't think it's his fault. He did a really great performance as Skeletor. The mannerisms were there. The attitude is there. The diva is there. Because Skeletor is a diva. He's a drama queen.
Now
There is one glaring problem, is that the audio mixing on this movie is not good. And unfortunately, that rubs off on Jared Leto's performance, because Jared Leto is doing a very particular voice for Skeletor that you won't be able to fully understand because the audio mixing is bad. So that's another problem with this movie. The audio mixing is dreadful. The soundtrack is great, but you will watch this film and think, man, I wish there was subtitles. That's not good either. It's Jared Leto's performance is great in the equivalent that Tom Hardy's Bane is endearing.
It's going to be better with subtitles.
It's going to be better at home with your own speakers where you can control the volume and you can put subtitles on. Again, it's going to be better in an edit. Someone's going to fix this. This is a movie that should have been fixed, but Hollywood is too slack-jawed to figure out how to make good movies. So,
no,
I think we might do it ourselves at this point. Like I'm at that point of like we got to figure out how to do this, and maybe we're going to do the Fake Wizard cut of Masters of the Universe, because inside of this is an excellent movie, and I'm annoyed as hell.
Yeah.
It's inside of this is a 9 out of 10, but they shipped a 6. They shipped a 6. So, any last thoughts, Tom, on Masters of the Universe?
I think the soundtrack for this movie is great. Genuinely, the soundtrack arguably carries this movie. It is super, super good. There's the audio mixing issues. Jared Leto Joker was a blast. There's the scene of when he's in his mind and he's in the real world. I thought that was great. With him in the gym outfit and then in the office outfit, I like that a lot. That was a lot of fun. I think if you love this movie, I'm happy for you. We don't hate this movie. I'm
jealous.
All right. But this is we brought it up here, and I see a couple comments about it. Us having issues with it, just because we're talking about the negatives of it, doesn't mean we think this movie is terrible. We don't think this movie is worse. Us pointing out what is bad about it is specifically to contextualize why some people may have an issue with it, but also to give reference on what elements of a movie are bad, to understand what makes an element of a movie good. When you have these movies where it's like, all right, these things are bad, it brings down these other elements. In the same way, right now, this is art. What we are seeing
art is subjective.
What we are seeing right now is a pseudo renaissance with media. Right now in the box, who is succeeding at the box office right now? It's technically, I don't know what the numbers are for everything, but you have Backrooms, which was made by a YouTuber. You have Obsession, which was made by a YouTuber, and technically, I think with He-Man, there was 3 movies that opening night. It was He-Man, Scary Movie, and they had that Amazing Digital Circus movie. I believe that won the Amazing Digital Circus movie, if I remember correctly, won the box office game. Granted, it was only one showing, I think, but that Thursday night, that technically won. So out of multiple Hollywood big box office releases, we've had 3 YouTube properties beat Hollywood. So in the way that we are, am I wrong about that?
Well, so now we got to be careful saying that it won the box office for the weekend, because holy shit, you're right. Dude, Thursday. Thursday, they're saying, this is Box Office Mojo here, is saying the Amazing Digital Circus cleared $7.8 million on that Thursday. Now, you're saying it was only in theaters for one day?
I think it was only one day because I'm pretty sure you can. I don't think it was a weekend release. I could have sworn it was like a 1 day thing, and that's okay. People are saying like, "Oh,
Yeah.
it was a bad movie." It's not a matter. It's not a matter of the content. It's the matter of what it was and how much it made. I don't know about The Amazing Digital Circus. I didn't watch most of it. I've seen maybe like the first episode. The fact is that this movie is a YouTube thing. This was a YouTube series you could watch for free on YouTube, and they had a movie release for the finale. It made more than anything else on that Thursday.
Now,
And that
we
was going
are
up against
missing.
He-Man? Oh, okay. Do we not have the numbers in for He-Man or
We
Scary
don't
Movie?
have the numbers in. Yeah, but it's not. It's just that Thursday. I'm surprised
Okay.
they didn't get a full weekend. But it did beat out everything else, and I think we are going to see because we've gotten some of the numbers back. It's not good for He-Man, and it's I think Scary Movie was in the 5 millions. So this would be. You're right. This would be the best of the day.
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
But to the point I'm trying to make, though, is that people are starved for good stories. And they are now looking to other venues for them to be told because Hollywood has sucked at doing it. So right now, we kind of have, like, if you are interested in storytelling and understanding stories, you need to understand what works and what doesn't about movies for when you make your own creation. You need to understand what works in a scene. You need to understand what doesn't work in a scene because then you know not to fall in the same pitfalls. So that's where we're overly critical about things because we ourselves are creatives. We want to tell our own stories. So you have to be critical because you need to be critical about your own writing. So that's where everyone being like, "Oh, you're talking so much bad about it." It's like, no, it's you need to contextualize what the issues are of a thing to fully appreciate something.
Yeah. Well spoken. Well spoken. All right, my friends. I think that'll do it for our Masters of the Universe out of theater discussion. We're gonna have we have the Fake Wizards review video coming soon over on the Fake Wizards channel. I shot it yesterday. For me, the way it sits now is this is a 6 out of 10, and I wanted it to be a 7. I wanted it to be a 9. It could have been a 9, but there is too much bad there for me to and I'll say, yeah, okay, I misspoke during our Culture Crossfire stream, and I misspoke on FNT. I'll take that. That's fine. I think it's a 6. I think it's a 6. I will treat, and I'm sure Tom will feel the same way. We're treating our Fake Wizards review videos as the official, locked in Final Jeopardy, final answer numbers. So what we say on stream, if we change them, we'll explain them. And I think we've done a pretty good job of discussing why we've adjusted Masters of the Universe.
I would also say, but also I would say when the end of the year comes around and we do our tier list for the year, we'll have our scores we can reference, and we may change some of the scores on movies that we've talked about.
Yeah,
there's a couple of things. Yeah.
Time changes things. Time changes how you feel about things. And right now, I think Master of the Universe is a 6. All right. Tom, let's hear from the people.
Sure. We got Jason Nelson for a 2. Can you show Drunk 3PO's 2-minute review of Masters of the Universe and comment?
Jason, thank you for the 2, but I'm going to say no for that because I don't want to, we got a lot of people watching right now, and I would prefer if all those people go and watch the video themselves and I don't want to stream snipe Jay's video. So it's kind of bad, it's kind of bad etiquette, and I don't like doing reaction content to other YouTubers unless it's absolutely necessary. So I know that Jay liked the movie, and I respect the heck out of that, and I'm happy he likes it, and I'm glad he got to have a great time.
Absolutely. We got Mad Dog for a $4.99. I have no He-Man knowledge, and I loved it. I think you judge everything too hard. It was fun. Other than that, Godspeed, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, Mad Dog,
and yeah,
you're allowed to have that opinion. I wish I didn't have to judge everything so hard. I can't turn my brain off. If I see things, I'm going to say things. I don't go into things. There's a usually a rebuttal from people when you talk about something like, oh, you went into this movie wanting to hate it. In He-Man's case, I went in wanting to love it. So I went in excited to. I didn't even get to show this on I got the He-Man Gripper Cup. This is like $30, and it's like, yes, it's texturized, it's rubbery, but like, yeah, it's skin like where you don't let go. It's like your hand is locked in place on this.
You're gripped.
I'm not dropping I'm gripped right now on the He-Man Gripper Cup. Look at that. Got his abs on the bottom of the cup there. I wanted to love this, man, but I'm not going to turn my brain off and say like, oh my gosh, he was great. I had a great time. Look, we reviewed Scary Movie a little while ago, and I said I was laughing the whole time, but that is because of my personal emotions to this. I have to look past that. I said on Culture Crossfire, I'm like, I don't like Tila. I need to figure out if I don't like Tila because of this movie, where she kind of did nothing wrong. Tila is fine in this movie. Or did I not like Tila because the Kevin Smith Masters of the Universe movie has ruined Tila for me? See, that's what I mean. I have to be honest with you, otherwise I'm not doing my job right. But thank you. You are absolutely entitled to your opinion as well, and thank you for that.
Absolutely. And then we got Ryan for a 5. They could have cut the Tila scene and the HR scene with Skeletor and add a scene with King Randor with young Adam to give more context of his love. There's a lot of things that this movie should have been more sincere. There are edits you can make to that to make it more sincere, but I wish there was more scenes with him with his parents. His mom is basically like a stand-in actor. There is no real relationship with his mom. It's just like, oh yeah, you're my mom. You don't really have that much of a dynamic between young Adam and Adam with his parents, other than just like, yes, they're my parents and I love them. You're told he loves them. It's not, you don't see a lot of them.
Right. Yeah, there's plenty of things. And look, let me also say, I'm really excited for Master of the Universe to not be in the zeitgeist anymore, because it's going to be those 6 writers are in play. Some of you like something from one writer, some of you like something for another writer, and another writer or another writer, and we're seeing people like or dislike this thing for reasons that are all over the map. That's not good for fandom, I don't think. I said this thing needed to be a 10 out of 10 knockout, and everyone needed to be able to like praise it, to give it the good word of mouth. It needs to go and be successful. No. This creates animosity inside fandoms because it's not great. It's not good enough. And so people are going to argue, and that's not good for the community as a whole. So I'm excited for this thing to go the hell away. Yep. That's it. One and done, baby. One and done.
One and done. Although, do we know, was that She-Ra show greenlit, or was that a rumor?
No, it was meant to be She-Ra.
Yeah.
Like a movie. They were going to do a She-Ra movie. And I don't know.
I thought that people were saying that it was going to be a Prime series. There was going to be a She-Ra series.
It might be. It might. We'll see. We shall see. All right, guys. We got one more topic for today. I'm going to pull it up, Tom. We got one super that just came in. You want to grab that?
Yes. We have. Let's see. We got Mad Dog. I said this in F&T, but I wish when he yelled before leaving Earth, we got a montage and a WTF moment of all the people realizing he was telling the truth.
See, that would have been good because it would have reinforced how he was right. It would have been a vindication moment. I mean, and he even calls it. He's like I think, doesn't he say something? He says something like he shouts. Oh, you people! Crowd, I was right.
He shouts to the crowd, but again, it's used to undermine him because it's just a random crowd of people. No one knows who this guy is. It's just he's a crazy guy. Yeah. Instead of being
he yells at the crowd, I was right. And then But none of you people are the ones that I was right with. And then Tila says some kind of quip about like how that's stupid. And you take away as they fly away, your immediate reaction is, oh, he's insecure.
Yes.
That's what it would read as. The scene would have read better if he just got on the ship, said nothing, because cool guys don't look at explosions kind of mentality, and let the other and have in the crowd be the girl that rejected him, who goes, oh, shit.
Or
He's
the
telling
HR
the truth.
manager.
That would have been better. Or the HR manager. You know, she got nothing going on. You can get Zashir Sameda back for another scene, but they didn't do that. They actually see that's the problem. You have these setups, and the moments are flipped on their heads for what they should be. That should have been he just walks away, and he might like look over his shoulder. That would have been enough. But you should have had in the crowd there where people look up, go, oh my gosh, he was telling the truth. And they took that away. Instead, they made him insecure. So, all right, let's do it. Okay, Tom, we had another game that came out last week, and we didn't get to cover it in time because I was traveling and I was a little bit behind. I didn't get to play it myself. But 007 First Light is here. It's out now. We got the report yesterday that this game sold about 2.7 million units in its first week. I have played it. I have done a review on it. The review will be posted soon. And you guys may agree with me. You may not. I like this game. And I like this game for what it was, for what it is. This guy playing Bond, I forget what his name is off the top of my head. The dude playing James Bond here is killing it, man. He is playing a younger, cockier Bond who just joins MI6. We get to see the origin story for Bond. We get to play the origin story for Bond. And I really enjoyed it. And I'll tell you exactly where it is. So as the game opens, and I got to also say, I wasn't going to get this game unless it was to review it. I was going to wait for it to go on sale. But then I figured, you know what? We're going to talk about it on stream. I'm going to pick it up and do a proper review for it. We did the review for Soros. I didn't know if people were going to buy this. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to do a review on it. I'll buy it and play it because we had Soros a couple weeks ago, and I thought a lot more people were going to get that and talk about it than they did. But like, no one else got Soros. Like, we were the only ones. Like, we have Saturday Night Hypnosis, and I was the only one I think on the panel that like Tom and I played Soros.
Yeah, we shotgunned it, and it was a game.
It was a something, all right.
Game.
It's certainly not making our internal game of the year. I'll tell you that. But I thought the same thing was going to happen with this First Light game. Maybe from a place of ignorance, I didn't think it was going to sell well. I didn't think it was going to do that well. So I figured, all right, we'll cover it. So I went in pretty much blind. I didn't know what I was walking into. And the opening scene of the game, it brings you right into the action where something bad happens. You know, the bad guys attack. You're not you're not 007 yet. You're James Bond, but you're not a 00. You're just an air crewman. And, you know, you've got your headset on and the helicopter goes down. You're in danger. The bad guys are trying to hijack a weapon, an MI6 weapon, nerve agent weapon. And you're moving around and you're battle damaged and scarred and bleeding. And you're like, I'm like, okay, this is fine. This is fine. I'm not blown away yet. This is fine. And then there is what I call the buy-in moment. Every major story, every major video game, every major movie, every major television show requires a buy-in movement when you're shipping something new to new audiences. I'll give you some examples to that. Doctor Who, the introduction to the 10th Doctor, the 11th Doctor, the 9th Doctor, all of their first episodes have a moment where it's whether it be a monologue or maybe something they say or maybe something they do. There is this buy-in moment where you go, that's my guy. I'm in. I'm going to watch this. And for like the 11th Doctor, it's when the alien with the eyeball, I don't remember the name, comes flying down, and he just gets up, and he's trying on the ties, and he's so like nonchalant about everything. He's this young man, Matt Smith, and you're like, I don't know if I'm in this yet. I don't know if I'm bought in. And he says to the alien, like, this is my planet. Look up who I am. And then the alien looks up who he is, and then he says run, and the thing flies away. And that is where you're like, oh, this is my guy. I say all that. We get to first light. As you're playing through the opening of like kind of moving through, I think it's Malta where you are. I don't know. I don't remember. I said it in the review. But where you're moving through, it's super dangerous. And you're like, okay, well, it's like a stealth game, but I'm not really connected to this guy. There's a buy-in moment, and it is awesome, and I loved it, and I loved how they did it. It's you come up over this cliff, and you see that there's all these tents up, and you see that there are survivors from the crash, and there's survivors from the compound here that are being held captive, and you're told, because MI6 patches into your ear, and you're told, don't try to save these people. There's a less than 1% chance of survival. They're all gonna die because these bad guys they don't leave survivors. They kill everybody. So just let them go. You have a mission. Go do your mission. And he goes, I'm not doing that. I'm going to save these people. And he pulls the ear mic out, and you're like, yes, they got him right. That is James Bond. And from that moment on, I'm like, I love it. He's cocky. He's not correct all the time. He's correct a lot of the time, but he's wrong in the places where it matters most for the story to happen. It matters in the places where there could be character growth. And I think that's awesome. So for this, for me, and I think the gameplay is fun. I think the stealth is better than Star Wars Outlaws for sure. There's a lot of people who have complained and said, I'll give them credit. I agree. Why isn't this more violent? This is made by the team that did Hitman. Why is there no blood? Why don't the gunshot? Wow, it looks choppy on StreamYard. I'm just noting, like the video here looks very choppy on the live feed. So sorry about that, but trailer's out there. People are like, well, hey, it's James Bond. It's violent and everything. And why is there no blood? Well, the reason for that, and I really think that that's worth discussing, is that this game is made to introduce James Bond to Gen Alpha. There are what I would say 3 baskets of people that are supposed to be satisfied with this game. Like this game is for 3 groups of people. The first group is for Gen Alpha who don't know who James Bond is. So this is the introduction point for kids who don't know who James Bond is, who don't know who Daniel Craig, they didn't watch the Daniel Craig movies. They haven't seen any of the other James Bonds. They don't care who Sean Connery is. And they're just like, oh, well, those are my parents' movies, or those are my grandparents' movies. Those are my grandparents' stories. This is meant to be the introduction for them because this is Amazon backing this. And Amazon wants to do a whole new James Bond series. Well, you got to be thinking about the future, and you got to get Gen Alpha involved. And that's who this game is for there. But it's also for 2 other groups of people. The next group is it needs to satisfy the source material. I think this does a good job of satisfying the source material as far as who James Bond is. I'll give it that. The third group is legacy fans. This needs to satisfy the legacy fans of James Bond. And I think it does. I've enjoyed my time with it. It's not a perfect game. There are mistakes that are made, like the enemy AI isn't perfect all of the time. But, I think this is a solid 8. This is a good game. It is a fun game. I've had a great time. The combat is fun. And I'm looking forward to playing through it again to do all the TAC missions. You could replay them with more of the challenges. They just announced yesterday that there's going to be, some kind of story expansion. Cool.
Yeah, Obama's back.
Obama's back.
Yeah.
And I know people aren't going to agree with me the whole way here, but this is not a bad game. Is it game of the year? No, I don't think it's game of the year. Is it a good game? Yes. Is it worth $70?
Well, okay, I was about to say, yeah.
Get it on sale. get it on sale. This is a single player game. It's going to drop in price eventually. It's already selling a lot of units. And this is a very big budget that they have to overcome here. This game costs about 160 something million, or close to 200 million. So they got a lot of money they got to make back. They got a lot of copies they got to sell. This is a good time. It's worth the buy if you can get it cheaper. And I would kind of leave that there mostly. So, what do you think, Tom?
You know, I know your opinion on it. I edited the review, so that's basically ready to go. I'm trying to think of questions to ask that would be good for sure. You know, we talked about so what are the numbers now? Because wasn't it what day one it had 1.5 million sales, and now it's what 2.7 a week later?
Right. Yeah.
So you had that's a kind of a big drop off. If you got was it day one 1.5 million sales, or was it just like, hey, the first 3 days was 1.5? What was it?
It was 1.5, and then within a week it was 2.7 million.
Because we had talked about how this game, a lot of money went into this game. This needs to be a big seller to make it to be considered a success. This needs a lot of people to buy it. Where do you think it's going to end up needing to actually land in sold for them to consider this a success?
I think they already consider it a success because they're actively talking about sequels. So
okay.
Amazon and also Amazon is not going to let this fail. They may make changes, they may take over things, but Amazon spent a ton of money to get the James Bond license away from the Broccoli family. So yeah, they're going to keep making James Bond stuff. They have to. They have to keep making it because it's going to make money.
Okay, this game, 2 games akin to this have come out recently where it is not worth $70. You had this, and you had the Lego Batman game. Out of the 2 games, if they were both, let's say both of them for Black Friday dropped down to $50, which would you recommend picking up first?
What are the 2 options?
Lego Batman or this?
Oh, this easy.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, this.
Okay.
Lego Batman's a Batman game. Not a Batman game. It's a Lego game. Lego games are too $70 is too much for a Lego game.
No, I was saying Black Friday deal. They're both like $40. Which you would still.
Oh, I think they're both good at $40. At $40, I think they're both good at that point.
Okay.
I think that's fair. Here, let me. There was a comment here that I wanted to pull up. Ruby says, "Just watch Az play it. The rants are legendary." I believe it, and I kind of want to go and watch that. And I would also say I haven't had problems with the. Are there AI problems? Maybe 1 out of 8. 1 out of, not even that. That's too many. It's every once in a while, but not often enough. And I think it's sillier than it is a problem. If you compare this game to Star Wars Outlaws, which is a fundamentally broken game, that's a bad game. First Light is not a bad game. I don't think it's bad. I like it a lot. It was a fun experience. I liked it. And I'm going to tell you I liked it. That's it. I thought that was good.
See, we don't always just hate things. We're not always just negative. We're critical. It's different. We've had two things on this stream that we actually commend. Everyone's, oh, you're so negative. Oh, you just hate everything. No, we do like things.
Right. Yeah, maybe there'll be things that come up. But anyway, that's First Light. I thought the buy-in was great, and at that point, I was in. So, good stuff there. Hey, everybody has their own opinions. You can respectfully have, we could all, reasonable minds can differ. This isn't my game of the year. Let me just put it that way. And it's not worth all that money. So anyway, let's get back to the people.
Alrighty, we got Dawnbreaker1 for a 10. Howdy, first timer to your channel, and the other day you went over crumble cookie drink, and I want to inform you about the s'mores and pumpkin pie ramen noodles. Oh
No! Oh no!
Ooh.
That sounds terrible.
No,
that
thank
sounds
you.
terrible.
I'm gonna be I'm gonna be honest here. When I went to the Target drop this morning, I did look in the food aisle to see if they had the Liquid Death Pop-Tarts flavor. I would have picked it up. I was gonna pick it up for chat, but they did not have it, and I went, well, I'm not gonna go out of my way to try and find it. But I made the attempt to try and find the Pop-Tart flavor. But no, the ramen noodles, that does not sound good. Especially because I have to imagine it's going to be cup of noodles too.
Yeah, I can't imagine that being very good. That sounds kind of gross. But we'll have to look into it, and maybe we'll cover that on a future FakeCast. But I think, Tom, is there anything else we got to cover today? Any other topics we had?
I think that is all that we were trying to cover. We went through the games. We did the Pokemon review. We talked about Master of the Universe in Scary Movie. I think we had a full show today.
We did have a full show. We got like 5 topics in. We did another 2 hours. We did 2 hours yesterday. We did over 2 hours yesterday with the Summer Game Fest, and we're going to be back tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, we'll be back for the Xbox showcase. So keep it locked for that. We'll be back for that. Until next time, my friends, create, innovate, inspire others to do so as well, and cancel Disney Plus. Wow, cancel Disney Plus. Yikes. Here we go. Coming in right at the end here. Tiger King Rex Carter for a 199 says, first like disgusting filled, 0 out of 10 devs for Gulag. That is a great way to end the show. All right, thank you for that. You guys take care. We're going to raid Fear the Beardo, so stick around for the raid here on YouTube, and we'll see you next time. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Back to bed for me. Oh, I didn't queue up the outro. We got to queue up the outro.
Well, that's okay, because we also have Dawnbreaker for a 5. Dozens of limited time flavors, and all are god-awful. I can imagine we will, that maybe that will be a new segment on Wednesday. We will have to see.
Yes, we'll have to see. We'll have to see where we're at, but thank you, my friends. This has been a great stream. We'll see you guys later. Bye.